Peace, Hotep. What's going on? It's I Can, man. Just wanted to shoot a video and break down something that's it's pretty much simplistic, but for everyone it's not. Like I said, the more information you kind of encounter and you come into, the more you understand things and surroundings and everything that's around you. So what I wanted to speak about today was race. It's one of the biggest myths and misconceptions ever. And unfortunately, we were born into this, so it's kind of hard to see something for what it actually is when you just took it and it was passed along generation through generation. No one questioned it. So at a certain point, people are like, why would I even question that? It's a known fact, and it became truth. So, and I'm gonna do it as quite simplistic and as layman terms as I can. Try to leave out a lot of dates, a lot of certain things that'll just confuse you. I may use a lot of sarcasm in my method to teach, so it kind of brings the point across and you can kind of grasp it a little better. But first, one thing we got to correct is that we denote to ourselves as being black. Now, if you think about that, because this was always like, it was like me walking upstairs to get to this point. I didn't just jump from here to there. There was a lot of things that I questioned in life, and one of them that always drove me crazy just growing up is that every race or nation seemed to have a flag and we didn't. Because I never, like in my life, never accepted the American flag because of what went on in America. The whole story that they came here, they slaughtered people and they mistreated the people that were here, the natives, and took the land and built something on top of it. So from just that on, I could not accept it. So I said we didn't have a flag. We were a nation without a flag. Everybody, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Jamaica, everybody had a flag. So that went to say, when you say black people, black is a color. So it's like a color in the crown box. And when you look at us, I mean, of course, there are some we've joked with growing up. We said they were purple or blurple or something like that. They were really dark. It still does not mean that they're black. We're a race of copper-toned, copper tone, mocha, caramel, so many complexions, and a lot of that is due to just breeding. It was breeding with the Caucasoid race. So breeding with them, breeding with people who we denote as being black, which are not black, but the natives, the originals of this land, of this country. Not even this country, just this world in general. This world was ours. We conquered every part of it. So to get that out of the way, all right, so black is a color. It is not a group of people. It is not a race. And because we claim to be black, we consent that we are a nation of people without anything. Like, we don't have rights, we don't have privileges, anything. This is seen in our everyday life. We can deny it all we want. When we go to court, we don't get justice. When we just everything that's stacked against us, we don't get justice. We can get murdered in the streets, we don't get justice. You'll see the same penalties that are supposed to be carried out for everybody because it's law for everybody. And you'll see it get handed down in different ways for other people. And again, like I said, it's because we claim ourselves as a color. So, alright, so I'm going to break this part down. That's why I'm going to get into it deep because I'm starting to ramble. Is basically, when you think of a Mexican, and we actually think that this is a group of people separate from ourselves, which is crazy in theory, because if we come from one, we come from God. God created us all, right? So why aren't we one? Because we came from one. If your mother and your father created children, they both come from you. They're all your children. And only way I can see that you would see some separatism is if the father went and had children with multiple mothers. Then you possibly see separation. As their name changes, the bloodline, the lineage, all that stuff, it changes. But if we all come from one creator, then we are all one. So everything else, the devil is the master of confusion. And this is what he did. You got Mexico, which you say breeds Mexicans. But Mexico is a geographical location on the world, in the world, or on the map of the world. So that person cannot be Mexican, especially when they speak of the Spanish language. Spanish language derives from Spain. But this is what you'll notice, that Cubans speak Spanish, Puerto Ricans speak Spanish. So it's just a language. Even if you go to the Bible, it said that the devil would confuse the languages of the people, so they'd be divided and basically just separated. So if you'll notice, there are dark-skinned Mexicans, there are light Mexicans, there are white Mexicans. And again, this takes you back, goes back to the breeding. You have the Caucasoids, and then you have the original man and woman. That is us. So this is where all the mass confusion is. We actually have so-called Mexicans hating us, and we are the original man. We're hated across the board, the whole planet. So everywhere that you see someone that's Hispanic or Latin